Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We are in R.I.P chapter 4 of Urban Legends, heading down Sena's route. This is the third route of the series, and so if you haven't, if you're watching chapter 4 of this anyway, and you haven't watched anything before this, I recommend go watch that. I will link that at the end of my video here today. But now we're in, let's see, we're in chapter 4, and it looks like she went to the mall. She's been trying to follow her memories and piece them together about what happened. And she found out some information about Sayaka, about she cast a spell. And Sayaka thinks that's what killed her, and she's trying to do something to bring her back. And that's where we left off in chapter 3. Also, Sena got kind of caught up in his loop twice. He forgot what he was doing twice in a row, going to the hospital. So there's something about the hospital that is blocking his memory. And so he's already getting out of his loop by doing different things with her. Koyo opened up to her about what happened about her accident. I just got done recording chapter 3 and I didn't want to go to bed because it's 1 a.m. and I probably should go to bed, but I would not be able to fall asleep, and there's nothing else that I want to do because I don't want to play any games. Like, I don't want to play any computer games. And this episode probably won't come out for 2 or 3 days. I apologize, but I'm just reading ahead because this is just what I want to do right now. I want to read Sena's route and figure out what's going on. After that, I tried taking the career path survey to a variety of places to try and get the visions to occur, but they simply wouldn't. How many places have I been to already? There's no progress. I felt my heart breaking. Staring at the printout in my hand, I tried to think of how to conjure a memory from that day. The front of Tsukumo's shrine seemed the most likely place. I'd gone there but saw nothing. I thought it would be the memory of being hit by a car. I had learned about the incident from Koyo, but still couldn't remember it happening. It wasn't that I didn't believe him, but I wanted to experience the memory for myself. If I can't remember that moment, what's the point of any of this?
R.I.P. Misa-chan?
Sena? I turned to face the voice that called out to me and found Sena standing there. Oh, he remembered her. Wait, it's the same day, isn't it? So he hasn't looped back yet.
こんな時間まで何やってるの？まだ制服のままだし。まさか、あれから一度も家に帰ってないの？
You just like wander around the mall and then hide from your fans when you start to hear them giggling and talking about you. He spoke in a nervous and worried tone because she ran into him at the mall in the last chapter too, and it's still the same day. Turned to look at the clock of the shopping mall, saw it was nearly 9 p.m. From his perspective, I got sick in the afternoon and still haven't returned home. It made sense that he was worried. I have something I have to do, so I just stopped by here real quick. Of course, I'll head home right after this. Tried as I might to calm him down, as Sena's questioning continued.
じゃあ、制服なのはどうして?
What about you? You haven't gone home either. I went home and fell asleep, and then I woke up and remembered the thing I had to do and came here. Sena looked at me suspiciously.
もう用事は終わった?
Yep, just wrapped it up. Heading home now. Is he buying this? Sena let out a loud sigh.
じゃあ、もう帰った方がいいよ。僕が家まで送るね。
Oh, really? Wait, what? You want to take me home?
だって心配だもん。こんな時間に女の子一人で帰らせられないよ。
You know, right at 9 p.m.? I understood what Sena was saying, and I was genuinely grateful for his concern. I didn't have to worry about any of that now. I'm a ghost after all, though I can't say that to him now. Maybe I can just flash him a smile and get him to calm down. My house is nearby, so don't worry about it.
ダメ。昼間もそうだけど、ここで会ったのも何かの縁だしね。
Yes, he believes in fate.
さ、行こう行こう。
In a minute. He took my hand and began pulling me in the direction of the exit. I had no choice but to follow him. Oh, also, there's this really crazy creepy girl that has a, quote, boyfriend, and I think it's Sena. And she warned Misa that if you're ever around boys, You should watch out for their jealous girlfriends. So I don't know if it's Koyo or Sena, but I think it's Sena. He took my hand and began pulling me in the direction of the exit. I had no choice but to follow him. She's gonna see you again with him, probably. We left the mall and walked for some time before reaching my house. It's okay now, we really are close. I stopped and pulled my hand away from Sena's. I'll be okay from here, my house is in this neighborhood, so... He just wants to know where you live. What is it?
さっき、すぐそこって言っていたけど、結構歩いたよね。
I know. I was about to say he's probably gonna catch you in a lie. Well, yeah, that's...
まあ、いくら僕が有名人だからって、今日会ったばかりの人間に家を知られたくないよね。
I know you're a stranger.
君を送っている間に考えたんだ。僕こそ不審者だなって。
He wore an apologetic smile and let go of my hand.
ごめん。不安だったよね。ただ、君が心配ってだけだったんだ。それを信じてほしい。
This is the same day where he was declaring that it was love at first sight too when he saw her. That's the only reason for liking her smile. So yeah, you do seem kind of creepy right now. Of course I understand. I never once thought that you were acting weird. I know you're a good person, Sena. For Sena, each and every day we met was the first time. And yet, he was always so sweet to me. I know you were just worried about me from the bottom of your heart.
君は、どうして、そこまで僕を
I met you like 4 times now. Because... I don't remember this one. Hold on. You're not a fan. You can't lie to him. He already knows that. Chapter 4. It's not a save, so we're going to lie to him and say we're a fan. Because I'm a fan of yours, Sena. Well, I am a fan of Sena the person, not necessarily Sena the idol. Sena chuckled at my response.
君はファンじゃないでしょ。だって、僕に対してあまりにも普通なんだもん。
I guess you caught me. Guess he really didn't understand what I was trying to say.
でも、君がファンじゃなくてもいいかもって思ってるんだよね。
He could be normal around you. Why is that?
一目惚れの相手には、アイドルのセナじゃなくて、僕自身を見てほしいから。
That's cute. He's still on about that. Oh, that's right. Today, Sena thinks he fell in love at first sight with me. But I guess Sena really does believe he fell in love at first sight with me. Just thinking about it made me embarrassed.
困ってるね。
Let's read one more line. I'm sorry.
君には迷惑かもしれないけど、僕は考えずにいられないんだ。
Alright, let's go back up. Because you helped me this afternoon. I want to tell him that he's always helping me, but he wouldn't understand that. I had to express to him how much he helped me in the words he would understand. You helped me this afternoon, right?
あれは、当たり前のことをしただけだよ。
Well, it meant a lot to me. It made me think that you're a very kind person with a very warm heart. I still think that. Sena raised his eyebrows in surprise. I guess that might be a bit too much.
そうじゃなくて。ほら、僕が君に一目惚れしたって、そう言ったら全否定されたからさ。特別に思ってくれていたなんて、意外だったんだ。
Yeah, about that.
でも、そっか。特別か。これは脈ありかもね。
Oh my goodness, now you just get ahead of yourself. I think I might have given him the wrong idea. But I guess Sena really does believe he fell in love with me at first sight. Just thinking about it made me embarrassed.
困ってるね。
I'm sorry.
君には迷惑かもしれないけど、僕は考えずにいられないんだ。君と僕の間には 何かあるんじゃないかって。
Oh, do we now? And this connection is going even deeper before it even gets into one of their roots. My goodness, the common root. I wasn't totally wrong about that, and I wanted to know why he felt that way. And what makes you say that?
それがね、僕にもわからないんだ。
I wonder if she reminds him of a person he used to know.
でも、恋心って言葉ではうまく説明できないものだから。
As he spoke, Sena outstretched his arm towards me. He gently touched my hair, and I felt my heart beat feverishly. That's a little ticklish. I spoke hesitantly, but Sena merely continued to smile.
笑顔もいいけど、そうやって照れる姿も可愛い。
I don't know why, but I would be so nervous if he was touching me like that already. This is kind of how I felt with Rosie in My Next Life as a Villainess, where he just couldn't help but touch her, and he liked her from the very beginning because he already knew who she was. But Sena's a stranger, and he's already saying how adorable she looks when she's embarrassed. It was the first time a man had ever said something like that to me, and I had no idea how to respond. I know, right? Then I think you've got the wrong idea.
あ、また否定する。そういう風に言われるとショックだな。
What's that voice for? Are you pretending?
とはいえ、これ以上はダメだよね。
You sounded very indifferent just now. When he took his hand away, I felt a sense of relief.
そんなあからさまにほっとした顔しないでよ。
This is giving me like Playboy vibes now. I wonder if this is a mask. This kindness. I wonder if it's his mask, like Koyo has a mask. Well, what did you expect? I was so nervous. How am I supposed to act?
その緊張っていい意味でかな。
I'm done with this conversation.
あ、ごめん。お願いだから許して。
Seeing him beg for forgiveness like that, I decided to tease him. I'll forgive you, but in exchange you have to promise to remember me. As expected, he stared back at me, dumbfounded.
そんなことでいいの？僕が君を忘れるなんてありえないのに。
His words made my heart ache. You should tell him that he's already forgotten you once and see what he says. If only that were true. Well then, if it really is love at first sight, you won't forget me. I didn't know why I said those words, but I hoped somehow that they might make a difference. Perhaps if he remembered, even a little, I could use his love at first sight to help.
忘れないよ。約束。
He held out his pinky for a pinky promise. Please, Sena, please don't forget me. I had no idea if that would help him cross over, but I didn't want him to forget me anymore. Until we meet again, then. With that, I left him. I'm gonna have an angry girl after you in a minute. And Misa and I went our separate ways. I headed to the beach. She said something so strange. Of course there's no way I'd forget her. And yet when she spoke those words to me, her eyes were so serious, so earnest. I know, she said that to you twice, too.
セナ。あ、こうよ。約束してないのに会うなんて奇遇。
どうしてここにいる？
今日はオフだったから、久しぶりに地元に帰ってきてたんだ。あー、連絡もせずに帰ってきてるから、拗ねてるんでしょう。
I spoke to him jokingly, but Koyo didn't seem to respond to it.
いつも芝生広場にいるのに。
それは学生の時でしょ。
Oh, is he noticing a difference in his pattern? Something about this felt off. There was something wrong with him. He never acted like this.
今日何やってた？
I know, right? He's going to tell you all about the different things he's done.
ああ、うん。運命の人に会ったよ。
Met his destiny. That's really cute. He's like, what?
それがね、 ある女の子を助けて。よかった。意識が戻ったみたいだね。今急いで病院に連れて行くから。病院に連れて？
Did he remember? Oh my goodness, because that's the part he forgot.
病院って何？
Koyo bolted towards me, grabbing me by the shoulder. But what surprised me more...
僕は彼女は病院に。
That seemed very strange.
彼女？誰？
ミサちゃんっていう女の子が。
You're gonna make him all worried now.
ミサと病院に行ったの？
No, wait a minute.
違う。僕が介抱してあげて。多分。それで彼女の体調が良くなった。
Yes, that's what Misa said. She mentioned the hospital. Something's strange. Something's very strange.
なんか今日の僕おかしいかも。昼間にも知らない映像が見えたりしてさ。疲れてるのかな。
あいつの存在が影響させてる。
え？何？
なんでもない。今話しても忘れるからいい。
Just forget about it. Did you really say that to him?
忘れるって。何言って？
That's the third time the word forget has been brought up. Are you going to say anything? Well, then if it really is love at first sight, you won't forget me. What were the two of them talking about? They were acting like I forget everything. My heart feels like it's going to burst. I really don't feel good. No. There's something very weird going on with me today. Was it just today? I don't remember seeing those images I saw this afternoon. Was that today? I can't remember. No, that's the end. Back to perspective of a protagonist. Ghost didn't get tired. I knew that, but after all that had happened today, I felt emotionally drained. Groggy, I finally reached the nurse's office. As I did, Yui came rushing up to me.
こんな遅くまで帰ってこないから心配したじゃない。
Sorry, Mother. I was surprised to see her speak so forcefully to me. Was she worried about me? Sorry, that was rude. I'm sorry, Yui. Knowing that my daughter did something like that earlier today, my 14-year-old wanted her phone, and my 11-year-old had it. And because she played in a concert and she was keeping it for her. But she's like, can I have my phone back? And she was like, yes, but you must give it back to me before the next song starts or something like that. My 11-year-old said that. I was like, yes, Mother. Oh my goodness. It was pretty funny. Anyway, knowing that I had a place to go home to and someone to worry about me, it filled my heart with warmth. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you worry. There's just a lot I wanted to look into. After sighing with relief, I told Yui about all the things I found out that day. When I finished, she looked as happy as though she had been the one to make all this progress in crossing over.
生前おかしな声が聞こえていたというのが気にかかるわね。
That's true, but the fact that I can't remember my death seems odd as well. Either way, it all seems very mysterious.
ええ、普通ではないと思う。
Well, Kudaha doesn't remember either. Hearing her say it so bluntly made me realize just how strange it all was. Koyo was surprised I couldn't remember my death too.
そのおかしな声、闇へ誘うものだけれど、一概に悪いとは思えないのよね。
I know, I still think it's one of the ghosts in like the next route. I wonder, I think that invitation into the darkness is what caused me to die.
そうなのだけれど、闇へ誘うものがあなたに告げた内容は、すべて悪い意味のようには思えないの。だって、 困難は降りかかるけれど、前を向いていれば大丈夫って、そうも言っていたのよね。
Yeah, I suppose so. That's true, the voice did say that. Up until this point, I had been focused solely on the identity of the voice itself. For now, I've decided it is best to just try and gather up the pieces of the printout and restore my memory. Once I do that, I'll know who invited me into this darkness and what their words meant.
ええ、そうね。考えているだけでは答えは出ないのだし。
Right, I've got to do my best so I can cross over. I spoke with determination, but somehow in the back of my mind I thought of him. Sena isn't able to think about things like this. It made sense that Koyo felt the way he did about Sena too. As I got to know the two of them, I had trouble thinking of Sena's problems as somehow separate from my own.
あなたを見ていると、私も勇気が湧いてくるわ。頑張らないとって思わされる。
Yui, have you thought about crossing over? Until that point, I realized I hadn't asked very many questions about her. Actually, it wasn't just her. The lingering regrets of the dead was surely a sensitive topic. It wouldn't be right to go around asking just anyone about them.
私はあまり思わない。いえ、自分のことは考えていないの。やらなければならないことがあって、それがうまく運べばそれでいいから。けれど、臆病者の私は、それから逃げていて。
Yeah, her problems are really big. I could never imagine Yui running away. She always struck me as rather dignified.
でも、あなたと関わるようになって、頑張る姿を見ていたら、私もしっかりしないとって思えたわ。いつまでも閉じこもっていられない。他の幽霊と接することが苦手だったけれど、そろそろ外へ出ないとね。
I didn't know all the details, but if she was doing her best to move forward now, if there's anything I could do to help, don't hesitate to lean on me.
ありがとう。あなたもいつでも私を頼ってね。
Right. The two of us smiled at each other.
とりあえず休んだ方がいいわ。今日はもう考えるのをやめなさい。
You say that, but I'm just going to end up thinking even if I don't want to. Yui made a troubled face and then turned to look at me with a smile.
それならおしゃべりしましょうか。外のことを教えてくれる？今の流行などをね。
I found her suggestion to be very charming and I felt my heart leap. And so the two of us chatted until morning. In the morning, after spending the night talking with Yui, I decided to go out for a bit. My aim, of course, was to try and unlock the memories contained in my career survey sheet. As I passed the school gate, thinking about where I should go first, I spied Koyo walking up to me. Good morning, Koyo.
おはよう。今日は機嫌良さそうじゃん。
I took some time to relax, that's why.
そっか。それならよかった。
He smiled back at me before his face turned gravely serious.
あんたに話があってきたんだ。今少しいい？
Sure, what's up?
セナのこと。昨日、あいつと病院に行った。
What did Koyo hear about that? Did Sena tell him last night? No, we didn't end up going. Before we could reach it, Sena's memory was, how should I put it, erased? When I told Koyo about yesterday, he looked back at me with surprise. Something about that made my heart beat faster. I decided to ask him about something that was bothering me. Did something happen to Sena? Koyo stayed silent, but his face told me he was debating whether or not to tell me something. He's probably going to tell me to not get involved with this. I figured he'd tell me that I'd have my own issues to focus on instead. Please just tell me, Koyo. I want to help Sena too. Still, Koyo remained silent. Koyo. After a while, he sighed as though he'd given up.
あんたと関わることで、セナに変化があった。あんたに関する記憶だけが完全にリセットされてないみたいで、覚えてるっぽいんだよね。
Really?
うん。ただ、あいつ自身も混乱してる。
My initial feelings of joy were complicated by the news that it was causing him to be confused. I wondered if I was doing more harm than good to Sena. Why is that he only remembers the memories with me?
俺なりに考えたんだけど。まず、セナが生きている頃の健康な状態の日を繰り返してるっていうのは覚えてるよな。
Right, he keeps resetting back before he found out about his illness.
そう。だからあいつは、大体において決まった行動をとってるし、毎日会う幽霊は俺だけ。俺より先にあいつは死んでるから、俺は途中からあいつのルーティンに加わったわけだけど。俺に会うことは、あいつにとって何も違和感はない。生前からの友達だし、この成見ヶ浜は俺たちの地元だから。でもあんたは違う。
I see. I begin to get the gist of what Koyo was saying.
多分俺以外の幽霊で毎日セナと顔を合わせているのはあんたくらい。
That was true. I had seen Sena every day since I became a ghost.
そしてセナの生前にあんたはいない。つまりあんたはイレギュラーな存在。
That made sense. I was someone who wouldn't have been there in Sena's healthy days, but now he was seeing me every day. So I'm causing him this confusion. If his memory can't totally reset, then I'm going to ruin his happy routine. Koyo shook his head.
その幸せは偽りでしかない。あんたはもしかしたらセナに現実を見せられるかもしれない。リセットがされなくなることで身の回りの変化に気づき、いずれは死んだと認識させられるかも。
If that happens, he might be able to face his lasting regrets. And perhaps he could cross over. So in that case, you want me to keep meeting with Sena, right? If I could help him change, then perhaps there was hope for him after all. Yet Koyo's face remained still.
ミサにはミサのやるべきことがあるのに。ごめん。気が向いた時でいいから、あいつに会いに行ってほしい。
When he finished speaking, Koyo bowed deeply with a rare sincerity. In response, Alright, we're going to keep going down Sena's choices, so it's leave it to me. Leave it to me. After hearing that, Koyo raised his head slowly. The expression on his face was deeply apologetic. You don't have to look so sorry. I've grown to care about Sena too.
悪い。本当にごめん。
You don't have to apologize. It's really okay. Feels like there's nothing I can say now. If I said anything else, I felt like it would only make him feel more guilty. Well, I'm off to try and go find Sena. I spoke with a bright smile, and a small grin crept up Koyo's face.
ありがとう。セナならこの時間は駅前あたりにいると思う。
I was relieved to hear him say something that didn't sound like an apology. I said goodbye to Koyo and made my way to find Sena. At the station, I searched for Sena. Where is he? I looked through the crowd and let out a sigh. That's right, knowing Sena, he's going to do his best to not be seen. I know, right? In crowded places, Sena's always tried to hide himself from others. I started looking around for inconspicuous places like behind pillars. That's funny. Why go out in public if you're just gonna hide, though? I walked around for a while until something flashy sparkled in my vision. That's... Huh? Without thinking, I gasped. I didn't know why, but he was in a place with a lot of people. Sena. I called out to him as I approached and his face lit up.
僕に気づいてくれたんだね。
But the question is, do you remember her? I was shocked as he quickly grabbed me with both hands.
君くらいだよ。僕に声をかけてくれたのは。
Sounds like he doesn't. And he's being ignored by everyone else because he's a ghost.
どういうわけか、みんなに無視されてしまって。 僕の知名度はどうやら地に落ちたらしい。
I stared at Sena, who seemed to be in a state of total despair when it finally hit me. He had gone out of his way to be in a populated place. Yeah, I guess there are so many people around that people don't really notice, huh?
本当にそういうもの？
Yeah, pretty sure. Either way, you shouldn't let it get to you.
君にそう言ってもらえてちょっと元気出てきた。ありがとう。
I smiled back at him, but inside I couldn't help but feel a little sad. So he forgot about me today too. The Sena that had fallen in love with me was already gone. Though I had shut him down all day yesterday, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't flattered. So, are you off today? His usual expression returning, Sena nodded.
久しぶりのオフだから地元に帰ってきていてね。せっかくだから街に出て買い物でもしながら懐かしさに浸ろうと思ったんだけど。
He trailed off. He sounded melancholic. Perhaps he was sad that no one in his hometown recognized him. In that case, how about we go for a walk? We can soak up nostalgia together.
いいの？君これから学校なんじゃない？
Oh, right. I was still wearing my school uniform. We're off today. I just had an event at school. It was a flimsy excuse, but it seemed like he wanted to believe it, so he accepted it without protest. Well, now that we're here, go to the shrine. I figured if we tour some of the places Sena and I visited together, he might remember me. With that thought in mind, I dragged him around from place to place. But I simply couldn't get him to remember it and ended up just wasting time. Having exhausted all of our normal spots, we finally reached the ocean.
はあ、いろんなところを回れてすっごく懐かしいよ。
I'm glad to hear it. The whole thing had left me depressed. Aw. I didn't expect his memory to come back all at once, but there wasn't even a hint of deja vu. Koyo told me this would happen, but he really doesn't remember me at all. Koyo would probably be upset if he knew I doubted him.
ごめん、疲れちゃったよね。僕ばっかり楽しんじゃったな。
No, I'm not tired at all. I really enjoyed taking you to all those places, Sena. That was the truth. I had enjoyed going to those places together with Sena more than I had expected, actually. Perhaps it was because I was with Sena. His bright and bubbly personality always found a way to make me smile. There was something dynamic about him, and it was obvious why he'd become an idol.
この海浜公園はね、僕にとって世界で一番好きな場所なんだ。
Oh, so it's pretty special to you then.
うん。子供の頃は遊具で遊んだり、芝生広場で寝転んで星を眺めたりもしてさ。親友と夢を語り合った場所なんだ。
I figured the best friend was probably Koyo. I had been watching the two of them for the past few days. They obviously cared about each other. I felt envious of them both. Having passed away, I would never be able to talk with Sayaka like that again. Not to mention the way things ended with us. And she was still trying to save me. What did she think she could do? I was sure that she wanted to find a way to talk to me. I'm sure she was thinking the same thing I was. We both wanted to end things in some different, better way. That would make me so happy. Put my hand into my pocket and touched the career survey. If only I hadn't changed my plans for the future, I wouldn't have made her cry like that.
ねえ、どうしたの？
That's nothing, don't worry about it.
僕さ、ラジオをやっているんだけど、お悩み相談のコーナーが大評判なんだ。
Oh?
だから、話を聞くのは得意だし、アドバイスもできると思う。
Was I really looking so gloomy that he felt like he had to say that to me? Yet the smile on his face and the warm glow in his eyes made me want to lean on him. And so you're going to talk to him. What does it matter? He'll forget tomorrow anyway. That's so sad. This is their same conclusion. Doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, sure. Tell him whatever, because he'll just forget. Or maybe he won't forget tomorrow. In that case, whatever I tell him won't be a burden on him. With that self-serving excuse, I began to tell him about what was bothering me. My best friend, well, the words wouldn't come out. I didn't know where to begin.
大丈夫だよ。ゆっくり。自分のペースでいいから。
Thank you. When I smiled back at him, he spoke.
こんなこと言うのはおかしいんだけど、君が話す気になってくれて、少し、結構嬉しいんだ。
Sena stared deeply into my eyes as though he was in some kind of daze.
どうしてだか、君の話を聞きたくて、たまらなくて。やっと心を開いてくれるって、なぜか。
Because she wouldn't talk to you before? I don't know. Finally? His words reminded me of our second meeting. When we met at the Skumo Shrine, he was very concerned about me then. Could it be, is he remembering back to that time?
初めて会うのにおかしいよね。
You should accuse him of forgetting. As he spoke, he laughed and returned to his old self. It was just as Koyo said, there was something about me that Sena remembered. As happy as that made me, I was still hesitant to talk with Sena about what I was going through. Would I end up becoming a burden to him? But having decided to lean on him once, I couldn't deny my desire to do so again. I'll try to tell you about it again some other time.
いつでもいいよ。ずっと待ってるから。
His kind words filled me with a sense of calm, and in the end I decided to speak. I have this friend. She's been my best friend since childhood. Sena was the first person here I told about this. My voice faltered as I slowly told him the things that were causing me such grief. I hid the fact that I had died by telling him that the two of us were merely separated. Then when I had told him everything, Sena began to speak slowly.
多分、その親友の子はさ、急に聖銀大学に行かないってそう言われて、ショックだったと思う。詳しい理由もなしに、ただ違う気がするからって言われて、混乱したんじゃないかな。
I felt a sharp pain in my chest that gradually spread throughout my body. As I spoke to Sena, I got a better perspective of my actions and how I hurt those around me. I was filled with regret at what I'd done. I cast my gaze to the ground when I felt a gentle hand caressing mine. Looking up, I saw his eyes staring kindly back at me.
君は抱え込みすぎていたんだよ。友達に話せば気を使わせるって。実はね、僕の親友は君にそっくりなんだ。何でも抱え込んで心配事を話してくれない。
Of Koyo?
僕からしたらそれってすごく寂しくてさ。だって力になりたいじゃない。
His words struck me. I could tell he really meant them. I was wrong to tell her that I wasn't going to say in the way I did. She must have wondered why I changed my mind. Had I been able to tell her why, perhaps things would have gone differently. I knew I would never have realized that had Sena not listened to me. I wonder. Perhaps the fact that he cared about me was why his memory didn't reset. It seems a little self-absorbed. But I couldn't help but wonder if it was true.
まあ、僕も同じようにあまり心配かけないようにしなきゃって隠していた部分はあるんだけどね。でもどうしてだかバレちゃうんだよね。僕ってわかりやすいのかな。
I think that's just called being honest. My friend's the same way. That's right, it was right here by the ocean. It was our first year of junior high. It was the first time I see Sayaka in a long time and she was acting strange. As I thought back on it, something came to me. What? What was that? This was my junior high school classroom. This took me back, but why was I here? Why was I seeing this memory?
私ね、最近ネイルアートにハマってるんだ。私は海外ドラマよく見てる。木田さんは好きなものある？
Huh? Sayaka. But where was she? I didn't see her, and those girls, they were looking at me. Was this Sayaka's memory?
私が好きなのは幽霊とかお化けとかそういう話。
え？オカルトってこと？
知ってる二人とも。この学校にも七不思議があるの。音楽室のしゃべる肖像画とか、理科室の動く人体模型とか。今度放課後見に行かない？
I don't remember that being the Seven Wonders. I just did that route. There's a person in the mirror, but I don't know about a walking skeleton.
でもちょっと怖くない？木田さんいつも怖い話するよね。怖い夢見ちゃうからやめてほしい。
ごめん。
それよりもみゆちゃん、あのドラマ見た？見た。最後に言われてすぐ見たよ。
小学校の時の方がよかったな。
Sayaka. Once we got into junior high, we started going to school with kids from other districts. The classes just grew and grew. The two of us ended up in different classes. But in the beginning of that first year, Sayaka and I didn't have the chance to see each other much.
みんなと仲良くなりたくて、仲間外れにされたくなくて、興味のないドラマをチェックして話を合わせようともしたけど。おはよう。教えてくれたドラマ見てみたよ。
そうなんだ。それよりさ、昨日見に行った映画が面白くて。そう終わった後めっちゃ語ったよね。
二人で行ったの？
木田さんはあまり好きそうなジャンルじゃなかったから誘わなかったの。だってホラーとかそういうのしか興味ないじゃん。
そんなこと。
いいよ、無理しなくて。あ、そうだ、みゆちゃんさ、今日の放課後暇？空いてる。っていうか、私もサイコ誘おうと思って
どこで何を間違えたのか、彼女たちに合わせようとするたびに空回り。他に気が合いそうな子を見つけようにも、クラスにはもうグループが出来上がっていた。そして私に話しかけてくる人は一人もいなくなって。学校に行きたくなくて、数日間この海を眺めに来ていた。どうしてこうなっちゃったんだろう。自分から誰かに話しかけることも、誰かから話しかけられることもなく、まるで自分が幽霊になったような暗い日々に耐えられなかった。そういえば小学校の頃、ここでよく遊んでたっけ？私とミサで放課後にちょっと足伸ばして
Sayaka.
ミサ、
Phew, I had a feeling you'd be here. Sayaka, what are you doing?
どうして学校はどうしたの？
I'm playing hooky.
なんでサボってまで。おばさん、そういうの厳しいのに。
Well, I was looking for my friend. I heard your teacher say that you haven't been coming to class recently.
それは
Hey, I thought of something. Next year, let's pick the same elective so we'll end up in the same class.
ここからだったと思う。私が彼女に執着したのは、彼女なしでいられなくなったのは、だから私が離れていく彼女を引き止めるためにあのおまじないをした。
I opened my eyes after seeing the vision of Sayaka's past to find a concerned Sena staring down at me.
よかった。気がついたみたいでほっとしたよ。
Sorry, I guess I made you worry about me. I was glad to see the memories, but it would have been nice to not pass out every time I did. But this time it was Sayaka's memory. I think this gives me a better understanding of how all of this involves her.
ねえ、大丈夫？
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. Low blood sugar happens all the time. Don't worry about it.
それでも無理はしないでね。本当は君を病院へ連れて行こうとしたんだけど、
But
君を抱きかかえた瞬間、どういうわけか変な映像が。
Sena's condition was changing rapidly. His eyes wavered as he looked confused. Sena?
さ、変なこと聞くけど、僕たちって初対面だよね。ごめん、変なこと言って。でも自分の知らない君との思い出が。
It's not the first time. Without thinking, I blurted out the words. The truth is, we met before, yesterday and the day before that, and the day before that too. He stared back at me, stunned, silent. Then finally,
僕、なんで忘れてるんだろう。
as he mumbled silently, I wondered if I should tell him the truth, but I wasn't sure if it was wise to confuse him anymore at this moment. That's right, my name. If I tell him my name, he might remember. Then listen to me. My name is...
言わないで。自分で思い出したいんだ。そうしないといけないって、なぜか思うから。
Oh, this is so cute. Ah. Well then, if it really is love at first sight, you won't forget me. Is it because I said that to him? I should probably leave the rest to Sena at this point. He had to figure this out on his own, otherwise there was no point to it. Fortunately, he seemed to understand that he was forgetting something. All he had to do now was remember. Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait for you to call me by my name.
ありがとう。それと、ごめんね。忘れるなんて、どうかしてるよね。本当に僕は大バカ者だ。
You haven't forgotten me, right?
え？
Just because you can't remember doesn't mean you've forgotten. He spoke with a smile and he responded with an apologetic grin.
そうだね。こんな素敵な子は忘れない。必ず思い出すから。待っていて。
Of course.
<sighs> どうして思い出せないんだろう。
If she never tells him her name again, it's going to be the sweetest thing ever when he finally says her name. Kind of like how Kuroha said Misa for the first time. After seeing Misa off, I laid down on the grass alone. Wait, what? You said you didn't remember her name. I thought about going back to the station to finish my shopping, but I was in no mood to do so anymore.
Oh.
Huh? I think I've been here before, thinking about that girl like this.
思い出せてきている
I know, you just said Misa. What the heck? He doesn't realize that he remembers. An elation spread through my heart, and yet at the same time, I felt my chest tighten and my heart palpitate in a way I've never felt before. I don't remember this pain, and yet there was something familiar about this feeling, the sadness. What is this? Could it be I've forgotten something besides that girl? That's all we get in his perspective. It literally said Misa, but yet, I don't understand. Why can't he? Whatever, it's fine. I parted ways with Sena and went on a walk by myself to think. To think about Sayaka. The visions I saw today were unlike anything else I've seen before. They weren't my memories, they were hers. But it was related to the accident. An unpleasant feeling spread through my chest. Sayaka says she's obsessed with me. My memory, that's why she says she cast that spell, but that led me to think about what she was planning to do now. She says she wanted to save me. Okay, we don't see this one in either route, so we're gonna say she's doing it for herself. I clicked the right button. I'm dead, and she still can't let go. It's the only reason she's trying to bring me back because she doesn't want to be alone anymore. That sounds like classic Sayaka. She's only doing this because she doesn't want to be alone anymore. I stopped myself. No, that's not right. Sayaka is not that terrible. What do you mean, that terrible? Sayaka wasn't terrible at all. I hated myself for thinking it. I often thought back to Sena's advice. That spell wasn't Sayaka's fault alone. The way I handled things before was wrong too. It was wrong to doubt Sayaka's reasons for trying. Regardless, I knew I had to stop her, despite what her motives were. Right. Alright, she says she wanted to save me. She's trying to make it up to me. She's only trying to apologize to me. She cared about me, that's why she cast that spell. Besides, it was wrong to put all the blame on Sayaka. It was partly my fault too. Thinking about Sayaka, my heart began to ache. Her face filled with tears, telling me how sorry she was for what she did. I had to stop her from whatever she was trying to do. She'd already apologized to me, that's why I had to stop her from whatever weird thing she was planning. I had no idea if her spells had any power, influence, or a chance of success, but still. Having lived in this strange world, I knew how dangerous interfering with the affairs of spirits could be for the living. Sayaka must be at school right now. I hurried off to school. I wouldn't be able to talk with her, but at the very least I might be able to find out what she's up to. Just as I was about to start running, I saw a figure approach me from the other side of the road. Is it going to be that girl? Okay, good. Koyo. He seemed to have already spotted me and was headed straight towards me.
セナ、どんな感じ？
I was just with him. He didn't remember me, but it seemed like he was aware that he'd forgotten me.
マジかよ。すごい。何か変化があればって思ってたけど、こんなに早く現れるとは思ってなかった。ありがとう、ミサ。
Of course, I'm really happy about it too. I'll be sure to visit him tomorrow and the next day too. I'll keep going until he remembers me. I spoke with a smile, but Koyo looked back at me with a frown.
あんただって成仏しなきゃだろ。だから何度もっていうのはなし。
What's the matter with a little side quest?
俺から頼み込んでおいて何言ってんだよって感じだと思うけど、俺はあんたにも成仏してほしい。
We must conquer Sena. The look on his face was so serious, I felt as though there was nothing I could say in response. He was clearly worried that I was losing focus. That's why I'm heading back to school. There's something there I need to check out.
それなら俺もついていく。手伝わせて。
It's alright, you don't have to worry about me.
俺が大丈夫じゃないの。ほら、行くぞ。
I know, stop telling him to not worry about you. He's gonna do what he wants. He began walking ahead of me, and I followed along behind him. I have a feeling this chapter's going to be a little bit longer because there's well, I guess there's only 3 more choices left, so it could also not be that much longer. We arrived at school and it appeared the morning classes had just begun. My class was currently studying math, and I saw Sayaka feverishly scribbling notes.
気になっていたことって友達のことだったのか。
Yeah, she's in the seat over there. She says something about trying to save me.
あ、救うってどういう意味で？
I don't know, that's why I'm worried. Koyo, seeming to understand what I was getting at, nodded silently. First things first, I thought it best to just keep an eye on what she's up to. Then, completely ignoring me, Koyo glided into the classroom and began looking over Sayaka's shoulder to read her notes.
ねえ、こっち来てみて。
I know, take advantage of being a ghost. I showed over to him and glanced at where he was pointing on Sayaka's notes. What? Her notebook wasn't filled with notes on math, instead it was filled with all kinds of strange notes and information. The red letters in particular stood out. Grasp of the mirror, spirit board. That's in the next route. I know he's in the... Well, the spirit board is in the other route. Grasp of the mirror is in the last route. I tried to take a closer look, but then...
いだ、黒板にある問いに答えなさい。
I know, you're in trouble now.
はい。
Upon being called on by the teacher, Sayaka quickly closed her notebook. I wanted to take a closer look.
いや、今のでなんとなく分かった。
Are we gonna go talk this to the spirit board ghost in this one? Seriously, you only looked at it for a second.
引きずり鏡とこっくりさんには取り消すように線が引かれてただろ。
Oh, is she gonna try to get help from all the wonders?
それって試してみたけどダメだったってことじゃない。
That makes sense. She was into the occult after all. I could chalk it up to Sayaka being Sayaka, but there's something I can't quite let go of. The spirit board is like a seance, right? I don't know much about the rumors of the boy in the mirror, that it's just one of the school's 7 wonders. Oh, that's right. Maybe I could ask the spirit board or the boy in the mirror what she's planning.
あんた、怖がりのくせしてとんでもないこと考えるな。
Well, I'm gonna say it's the only way, because that's Sena's choice. It's the only way, right? We've got no choice.
なら頑張るしかないな。
Seeing the confident smile on his face, I felt a little reassured. On second thought, I'm glad Koyo came along with me today. We're gonna go ask Hibiki. Koyo was familiar with the rumors of the boy in the mirror, and he told me about them as we headed towards the mirror. Just as we arrived, I remembered. Come to think of it, yesterday, Sayaka had been in front of that mirror early in the morning.
鏡を見るためだけに閉まっている校門を乗り越えてきたわけではないでしょ。
早くに学校へ来たのは昨日うっかりしていて教科書を忘れて帰ってしまったんです。
Was she trying to do something with the mirror then? Then in the classroom when I thought she was studying diligently, she wasn't studying, she was just writing the results of what happened. Koyo was right, she'd already tried this one, and that's why she crossed it out in her notes. I looked at the mirror in front of me and took a deep breath. Is anyone there? If so, please show yourself. Immediately I heard a soft chuckle right next to me, right in my ear.
悪い。でも声かけるより中に入ったらいいんじゃない？
Of course, because who wouldn't think of just walking into a mirror, right?
これが本当に怪談話の通りなら、鏡の中に幽霊がいるってことになる。
In his story, though, he had to let you in.
なら幽霊同士だし、俺たちも入れるだろう。
Yeah, I guess you're right. Now I kind of feel embarrassed for shouting into the mirror like that. According to the rumor I heard from Koyo, if you placed your hand on the mirror, you'd get pulled in. Well, then I'll go first. No, he only likes you if you're alive. Then, just as I put my hand to the mirror, it stopped as though I was touching a wall. I immediately turned to look at Koyo, who merely stared back at me. I can't get in. He seemed a bit flustered after speaking so confidently before.
いやいや、絶対にこの中にいるんだって。俺の霊感がいるって言ってるし。
Wait, you've never met this ghost before.
てか、俺たちが物に触れられることがまずおかしい。
Sure. I knew he was trying to change the topic, but he was right. That was the stranger issue here.
それの中には確かに幽霊がいる。
Kuraha! Koyo and I jumped. Kuraha stood behind us, an amused look on his face.
まったく。騒がしいと思えば何をやっているんだ。
Sorry, we weren't trying to be loud, but we need to talk to the ghost in the mirror.
どういう用事なのかは聞かないが、それに話しかけても無駄だぞ。引きこもっていて出てこないからな。
I know he's scared to talk to other
それ
ghosts.
にどういう仕掛けか、鏡に入ることは叶わない。
Seriously? But there's something I really need to ask the ghost.
でも、いることはいるんでしょ。
ああ、姿を見たことはあるからな。
ちなみになんで姿を現したの？
あれはいつだったか、鏡のそばにいた生徒たちがスマートフォンを操っていてな。その画面をこっそり鏡から盗み見ているような、そんな感じだった。
Need to drag Sena to the mirror. He'll come for that. You mean like it's into smartphones?
さあな。大音量で音楽をかけていて、教師に怒られていたのを覚えている。
You either listen to Sena's music. Maybe it likes music. Koyo, you've got a smartphone. Why don't you take it out for a minute? Koyo immediately took out his phone from inside his pocket. He waved it around in front of the mirror.
何も起きないけど。
Maybe it likes music. Hey Koyo, sing a song. Koyo glared at me with icy eyes. That's funny. Okay, fine, got it. You're not a singer.
鏡の幽霊のことは諦めた方がいいだろう。
I know, he's probably just looking at you guys, just waiting for you to leave. And with that final word of advice, Kuraha walked away. Guess we've got no choice but to give up. I took one last glance at the mirror, but saw nothing there.
まだ音楽は試してないじゃん。
Okay, well, as ghosts, it's not like we can make music, right?
いや、ある。
Why didn't you do that? Huh?
セナがいるだろ。あいつなら歌える。
See? Just bring Sena. I knew it. He actually likes Sena. With that, the two of us went off in search of Sena to bring him back to the mirror. It took a while to find him, and it was evening by the time we got back to the school.
うわー、学校懐かしいな。ここの鏡の前でよくダンスの練習してたな。
I know, and he cheered you on. Sena, I didn't know you went to Naramigahama High.
うん、そうだよ。紅葉も同じ。ね、紅葉。
What? How dare you not tell us? Upon Sena's prodding, Koyo merely nodded. I knew Narimigahama was Sena's hometown, but I had no idea he went to this high school.
それで、僕は何をしたらいいの？
We want to hear you sing. Well, we want you to look into that mirror and sing. Before I could finish speaking, Koyo tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to the mirror. Following his figure, I saw... No! Dang it! I wanted to hear him sing! There in the mirror stood a young boy. Sorry, but that was funny. It didn't sound like him at all. Also, I'm imagining Keith yelling like that now. Not knowing that he too was a ghost and his screams echoed throughout the halls. If I thought I was alive, I'd probably have the same reaction.
S クラウンのセナさんがここにいるなんて。
Huh? He knows him. The young boy stared at Sena as though he was somebody that he deeply admired.
僕響って言ってあなたの大ファンなんです。
Sena, for his part, was completely unable to reply. He had fallen to the floor in total shock.
引きこもりって設定じゃなかった。
What? That's not important. Thanks to Sena, this is our chance. I took a step towards the mirror and started speaking to the boy. There's something I need to ask you. Aww. Why is he so afraid of ghosts, though? The boy's line of sight shifted from Sena to me. The brightness that had been in his eyes faded and was replaced with fear. Yesterday morning, a girl, a student, she came here, didn't she? She's a little shorter than me, brown hair down to her shoulders. The boy's gaze wandered and he stayed silent. Because I want to know what she said to you. I'm begging you, please tell me. The boy repeatedly opened and closed his mouth and began to step away from the mirror. Oh, wait.
響くんって言ったよね。
At Sena's voice, the boy stopped.
今、彼女が言ったことで何か知っているなら教えてほしい。お願いします。
Wait, he knows that Sena died, but he's not afraid of him. Thank you, Sena. I thanked him from the bottom of my heart, and I heard a voice from the mirror.
確かに来ました。多分。あなたの言う女の子なのかわからないんですけど。
引きずり鏡様。あなたはこの世ならざる世界に人を引きずり込むと聞きました。それが本当ならお願いします。どうか私をあの世に導いて。
So she tried to go into the world of the ghost first.
今もさまよっているはずの私の親友に会わせてください。
そう僕に懇願してきたんです。でもすぐに先生に見つかって。
Everything he told us seemed to match up with the scene that I saw unfold yesterday. That was most likely Sayaka. Sayaka's the only one who would think to do something like that.
あんたに会うためにあの世に行きたいって。
He was about to say something else but quickly closed his mouth.
僕の鏡はあの世なんかにつながっていないです。だから引きずり込んでなんかないです。
You definitely can. Hibiki spoke with such nervous force, I smiled to reassure him. You don't seem like the type of person to do that, Hibiki. Don't worry.
ありがとう。
よくわからないけど、聞きたいことは聞けたのかな。
I know. Sena's like being sucked into a mirror. What? Yes, I did. Thank you. But I still don't know exactly what Sayaka was planning. There's only one thing left to try, the spirit board. His loud voice surprised me and he seemed quite taken aback.
こっくりさんはやったらダメです。いたずらに呼んでいいものじゃないから。
それ、やったことあるやつの言葉？
I know, that was his memento when he was alive, was his spirit board. Hibiki's body trembled in response.
こらこうよ。僕のファンを怖がらせないでよ。
ファン
Hibiki looked so happy. As though he'd never been scared in the first place, Sena flashed Hibiki a winning smile. Even if he was still sitting on the floor.
こっくりさんはとっても優しいあやかしです。だから
Then why were you so hesitant to interfere then?
あまり迷惑になることはしてほしくないんです。
Because it's a friend of his. Has something happened between them? Either way, he didn't look ready to tell us. I won't be causing any trouble. The truth is I need information about a dear friend of mine.
友達ですか。さっきの女子生徒のことですか。
That's right, she's in trouble and I want to stop her from doing something dangerous. Hibiki looked around seemingly lost before pulling something from his uniform pocket. Then he gently reached his hand outside the mirror and placed it on the ground.
それはこっくりさんを呼び出す道具です。あなたを信じて貸します。
Oh, that was nice of him. Thank you so much. As I shouted excitedly, Hibiki's cheeks blushed.
これから儀式の方法を教えるので、しっかり覚えてください。
After that, he taught me how to summon the spirit of the board, and I committed to the whole thing to memory. Then, his eyes sparkling like before, he shook hands with Sena and disappeared back into the other side of the mirror. What is Sena thinking about all of this? I said goodbye to Koyo and Sena after that and headed straight for the nurse's office. I wanted to use the spirit board right away, but was told evening was the best time to do it. I'm surprised they just left you with it. So the time of day has something to do with it. I decided to spend the time chatting with you in the nurse's office. Huh, it doesn't look like she's here. It was the first time I hadn't been able to find her here. Yesterday she mentioned that she wanted to gather the courage to head outside. She seemed to be working very hard on herself recently. I took the career path survey out of my pocket and looked it over. I still can't remember if something or someone pushed me that day. I let out a loud sigh. I didn't feel like waiting here by myself. Maybe I should go out for a bit. Maybe I'll bump into someone. Besides, some fresh air could do me good. We're gonna go to the mall. Wait, shrine. Yeah, shrine. Like, I was reading ahead. I decided to visit Skumo's shrine where I found Sena praying. Evening, Sena. Are you praying?
あ、君だったんだ。こんばんは。君のことを思い出しますようにって神様にお願いしてたんだ。
Oh, that's adorable. Sena.
他力本願って怒られるよね。自分でも情けないなって思う。
I'm just happy you want to remember me.
そう言ってくれる君が僕にとってどんな存在なのか早く知りたくて仕方ないよ。まあ大切な存在なんじゃないかなって予想してるんだけどね。
Yeah, she's your love at first sight. His words made my heart jump. It's like yesterday when he fell in love with me at first sight. Well, how about we sit and talk for a bit?
君と話したいなって僕も思ってたんだ。
Thank you. We're gonna talk about hobbies. Actually, hold on. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and talk about hobbies, and then the rest of them is going to be in chapter 5. Sena, what do you like to do for fun?
趣味か。仕事してる時が楽しくて、それ以外ってあまりないんだよね。
Well then, what do you do on your days off?
友達に会ったり、家のことをしたり、今みたいに地元に帰ってきたりかな。僕さ、作詞と作曲もさせてもらっていて、だからお休みの日も作業してることがほとんどなんだよね。
Wow, you really are talented. You're amazing, Sena.
新鮮な反応かも。君に言われるとすごい人になった気分。でも僕にとってはそれがやりたいことだからすごいとかそういう感覚ないんだよね。
Next time I want to hear a song you wrote, Sena. Seeing as we were both ghosts, I realized that it would be pretty hard, but I did truly want to hear him sing an original song.
うわー、すっごく嬉しいよ。聞いたら感想をちょうだいね。
Sure thing. After that, we continued to talk about Sena's work for some time. After we finished talking, I finally gathered the courage to visit my house. I hadn't totally prepared myself to go inside, however. I wonder how my mom and sister are holding up. When I had seen my sister yesterday with Sayaka, she seemed to be doing alright, which left me very relieved. But, Mom, the last time I spoke to my mom, we fought about what I was going to do with my life. I'm sorry I said I didn't want to go to Sagan. Even if I was alive, I didn't know if I could have done exactly what my mom wanted. My future and my career didn't matter anymore, but my heart still ached as I thought about them. If I was still alive, what would I have done? Would I really have convinced my mom to let me follow my own path? Even now, I had no idea what I wanted to do. This is stupid. I don't have to think about this kind of thing anymore. I tried to get that out of my mind, then...
やっぱりそうだ遠くから見つけてあなたかなって思ったんだ
Dang it, I thought we were going to get away with not seeing her for a chapter. Now she knows where you live. Reika. It was the third time I'd met her. My heart filled with a mixture of fear and dread. I know, right?
あなたを探していたの話したいことがあって
Is it about your boyfriend? As she took a step towards me, I instinctively took one step back.
ねえどうして逃げるの後ろめたいことがあるからよね
I know, she's like going to stab you or something.
夜空のことで
Oh, so it's Koyo. Oh my goodness. Here I thought it was Sena this whole time. Well, she doesn't seem to get too close with Koyo, so it's fine, right? Like, she's only talking to him. Now, if it was Sena, like, Sena has been carrying her and holding her hand. I figured something must have happened. At first I didn't know who she meant. But soon I figured it out. She was talking about Koyo. Do you mean Koyo?
こうよさんねはあ分かってないんだな夜空はね玲香の彼氏なの今サプライズを計画しているの
I wonder how he's going to react if she brings up Reika. I wonder if he knows her. Huh? Koyo and Reika are together? I had no idea. Nope. She sounds like just a creepy stalker. Koyo and I had never really talked about our romantic lives before, and I had no idea the two of them were a couple.
でもね夜空を見に行くたびにミサちゃんがそばにいるからすっごくイライラしてたまらない
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
いいの知らなかったなら仕方ないもんでもこれで分かったよね
I nodded repeatedly, and Reika stopped walking towards me.
玲香のこと夜空に言わないでねサプライズが台無しになっちゃう
Got it. I won't say a word. I promise. Reika smiled and let out a high-pitched giggle before disappearing into the night. I had no idea Reika and Koyo were a couple. I bet you they're not, though. I continued to walk as I thought about what had happened, eventually ending up at the park. The incident with Reika before had been quite frightening. I grew quite worried about how I would react the next time I saw Koyo.
あ、また会ったね。
Yay! It's Sena. I looked around, searching for the source of the voice that called out to me. Where?
こっち下
I know, he's laying on the ground. A little further down the road is what oh, it's Koyo and Sena laying down on the grass. Ah, there's Koyo. What are you guys doing down there? Sena stood up and began walking towards me, before tightly gripping my hand in his.
君も一緒に星を見ようよ。
Oh, I'm gonna get a cute star CG, huh? Ah! Sena quickly pulled me by the arm to where the two of them had been laying. I'm laying right next to Koyo. I prayed that Reika was nowhere nearby to watch this scene unfold. In order to avoid any confusion, I scooted over towards Sena.
何俺のそばが嫌なわけ
No, that's not it. Absolutely not.
変な口調。怪しい。
もうこうよったら、こうよのことが嫌なわけじゃないよ。
She just likes me more. Yes, yes, that's exactly right.
彼女は僕のそばに来たくて、だから僕の方に寄ってきたんだよ。
Right, right. Wait, what?
セナがタイプなんだ。
Oh my goodness, we're really talking about this? No, it's not like that.
ってことはセナの勘違いか。セナお疲れ。
Too bad, Sena.
でも、これからだからね。うん。
This is so cute that they're discussing this with her. What are they?
ほら、とりあえずさ、君も横になって星空鑑賞会しよ
It's almost like they were fighting over her. But I still have my reservations, but I knew any more protests would make them even more suspicious. Maybe it won't bother Reika if Sena's here too. Just scoot closer to him, it's fine. I hope that would be the case and lay down on the grass between the two of them.
う。あ、今流れたよ。
Ah, I missed it.
本当に流れた？全然見えなかったけど。
I just noticed that Koyo has a mark on his arm. I thought Sena had one too, but I don't remember where it was. I couldn't help but wonder when the last time I looked up at the night sky like this was. At the very least, I hadn't done it since becoming a high school student.
僕と紅葉は子供の時からこうやって星空を眺めていたんだ。
What does this say? A club with Koyo and Sena had been since childhood. They grew up together in Narimigahama, and on nights when they were bored, they went to the grassy plaza, the nearby beachfront, to talk under the starry night. That's cute.
お互い家を抜け出して、待ち合わせは決まって、この芝生広場。学校のこと、テレビや漫画の話、それから将来の夢を話したりしてさ。
セナばっかり話してたよな。俺はだいたい聞き役。
そうだったね。でもこうよ。聞いてると思ったら寝ちゃってた時もあったじゃない。
子守歌かと思って。
もう意地悪だな。
As I listened to the two of them, I tried to imagine them as kids. They must have enjoyed each other's company as the same as they do now. Ah, another shooting star.
見た見た。
今のは俺にも見えた。
Under the twinkling night sky, we took turns pointing out shooting stars and making wishes. I wish the three of us will someday find peace. I wished it from the bottom of my heart. Yay! Are they all going to cross over together? Oh, that's the end. No, take it. That was a nice little ending to stop on. And in the ghost stories, man, every ending was a cliffhanger. Like, it frustrated me. It's just, yeah, I was just left with wanting to go on. I did go on a couple times, but man, cliffhanger, that's all it was in the last one. Oh, this is the second video I've recorded tonight, so I definitely have to go to bed. It's 2:30 now. Anyway, I knew Reika was going to be an antagonist. But since it's Koyo's, it's probably not going to even be, we're not going to even see it yet, because it's going to be in Koyo's route. Because what, we're on chapter 5 now? And this is the last chapter before Sena, and she'll probably never be seen from again. Anyway, I can't wait for Sena to finally remember her name. Let's see. Yeah, it'll probably be somewhere in his route. As always, if you guys enjoyed, drop a like down below and or subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.